Welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. We're going to do a little bit something different today because it's pouring down rain. There's nothing that we can do outside. So we're going to put together this chicken plucker. Picked up this chicken plucker from Tractor Supply. It was tax and all, and I think maybe a reward given. About $500 shipped to the house with free shipping. So that worked out pretty good. We're no strangers to chicken pluckers because we actually bought one in halves with one of my brothers, Wesley, a couple of years ago or so now, and we've been using it to defeather all of our birds. But everybody in our family is getting so big as far as everybody's raising chickens, and the last time we processed it was 100 chickens in a day at 3 different places. And that's just too hard, y'all. That's a full day of running and gunning and processing chickens, and by the time you get done, you don't feel like doing nothing for a couple of days after. So Lisa and I decided to go ahead and invest in our own chicken plucker. I'm not sure if this is the same brand that we've been using before. I can't remember what that one is. I think it came from Home Depot maybe. But anyways, we're going to unbox this. Not something I've ever done on camera, unboxing a new piece of equipment and putting it together, but since it's a rainy day, I thought we'd do that. But before we do that, I'm going to show you how we store everything that we produce here on the homestead. So we currently have 3 different freezers. Plus we've got, the freezer in the house with the refrigerator that we keep things in as well. But we have 3 freezers in the garage, and we separate those so that we can, keep our product in different ones easy to find. We've got an upright freezer, and inside of that is where we keep all of our chicken. And Lisa has got it neatly organized in here in different baskets with each different cut. We only keep a few whole chickens because there's only 3 of us in the house, and by the time you cook a whole chicken, it'd take you a couple of days or 3 to eat all of it. But a lot of times we'll put a whole chicken in a big cast iron dish in there and do it kind of like a roast. And we'll put vegetables in there with it. It's really good. But we keep everything in cuts. We also keep some bulk storage over here for seeds. Anything that we buy in bulk, we can just put it in the shelves here. But primarily, this entire freezer is for chicken. And by the time we get done processing chickens here in about 3 weeks or a little bit less, that freezer will be completely full, probably running over. We'll have to probably put some in another freezer. Beside of that freezer, we have a chest freezer, like a medium-sized chest freezer. I'm not sure how many cubic feet it is, but inside of that one is where we keep veggies, stuff that we don't can from the garden. And this is all from last year. Kale, squash, broccoli from this year. Lisa harvested. She ended up with 11 pounds of broccoli off that one bed, which is not too bad. That's actually the first time that we've been able to grow broccoli and have a decent yield in spring. And so hopefully this fall we're going to plant a lot more of it. We'll have a lot more because we really like broccoli. And we keep some meat in here, but not much. We keep what little bit of beef we actually buy, which is very little because we don't produce our own beef. We will buy some hamburger once in a while, but for the most part, when we kill a deer or 2 during the deer season, we go ahead and clean that, chunk it up, and when we kill a hog, which is usually about the same time, we'll take fat and we will grind it 80-20. And y'all, it's better than any beef we buy in the grocery store. We keep all our collards in here, and here's how we do it. This is from this year, from collard harvest, from the spring. These are basically, I believe they're a little over a pint, like a 1.5 tubs. And after we've cooked those collards down, they go in here, cool down, put them in the freezer to freeze. And we'll have this thing rotated and filled up with more collards come this fall because we'll plant them again, y'all. We like eating collards at least once or twice a week. And one more thing about this freezer. Lisa has these, I don't know if you can see them, these baskets. They're collapsible baskets. They work really good for pulling out and sorting things. So whenever you're setting up your freezer, keep in mind the ability to sort through and keep product rotated in and out. Those baskets come in pretty handy. She probably got them off Amazon or something. They weren't expensive at all. And in the last freezer over here, this is where we keep primarily our pork. and we can fit a whole hog in here easily. We might be able to fit 2. It would be a little tight. She's also got her seeds in here. This is pretty neat. It's like a tackle box, and I'll show it to you real quick. She keeps all of her seeds in here organized, if you can see that, in these little trays. So that's pretty cool. But you'll see this is all pork, every bit of it. We could fit 2 hogs in here, I believe, between sausage, bacon, all of our cuts. So if you're wondering how do you store all this food that you're growing, that's how you do it. Meats, we vacuum seal and we freeze. We portion everything out. Everything is ready to go for a meal. Now when it comes to bacon and sausage, we can open those up and get, you know, a couple of days worth of meals off of that, breakfast or whatever we're using it for. But for the most part, everything is portioned out nice and neat, evenly. It just makes living this way a whole lot easier. Because remember, instead of going to the store and buying in bulk, this is our store. We process all of our animals, all of our vegetables, everything, and we portion it out just like you get it from the store and put it up, whether we're canning or freezing or fermenting or whatever. All right, now that you've seen how we store all of this food that we're raising and growing around here, let's open this box up and see what we have. Instruction manual. That might come in handy because I don't know how many parts this thing's going to be in. And I'll fast forward through some of this, y'all, so you don't have to sit here and watch me open every little piece out of this box. Good gracious, it's heavy. That out of the way. Y'all, this thing weighs, I bet you it weighs 125 pounds. Now, to get it out of that foam, trying to figure out here best way to go about this, because I believe that's actually the bottom, without looking at anything. Take this thing apart, save my little carabiners to the side. All right, that's pretty handy. Something dropped. Oh, the little clips. Y'all, this is a 1.5 horsepower motor. And if you've even priced a motor like that, let's say at Harbor Freight, it's probably going to be $200 easy for a 1.5 horses, might be 300. So, looks like we got one little dent on this thing. That might be designed that way. I think it is. It's not a bad value, $500. Probably could have got it a few years ago cheaper, but it's the way it is, y'all. Let me set this to the side. Now, I believe that needs to be bent back out. That's pretty thin gauge metal. Get this stuff out of here first. Like the legs. That's the thing about shipping, y'all. Don't matter how good something's packaged. Forklifts and stuff, moving things around. Container ships, bouncing out at sea, and a few of the rakes are moving right now. Something might get a little dent up, but you can straighten it. There's my little clips. We can grab a pair of pliers and straighten that out right quick. There we go. Not factory, but it's pretty close. Alright, what do y'all say we speed this up a little bit? Get this thing knocked together and I'll show you the final product. Alright guys, I appreciate you hanging out with us at the Piney Woods Homestead as we did a little something different. Put together this Yardbird chicken plucker that we picked up from Tractor Supply. Like I said, we've used them before because I've got one that my brother and I bought together several years ago. And it works great, but this is going to work good for us because now instead of going to 3 different places to clean chickens, we can clean ours and my brother and my sister can work together on their schedule to get theirs cleaned. It'll work out good for everybody. Guys, if you haven't bought one of these and you want to raise chickens, if you hadn't raised any chickens yet, don't go out and spend $500 for a plucker. Borrow one from a friend that has it or rent one just for the day so that you can decide if raising chickens is really something you want to do, because it looks all fairy tale on YouTube, but it's a lot of work, y'all, but it's very rewarding, and in our opinion, it's very much worth it. Guys, hit the thumbs up for us, subscribe to the channel if you hadn't, and if you have, y'all, we appreciate you. We'll see you on the next video.